Good morning. Welcome to volume 58 of Coffee with the Tigg for June 15th, 2018. Almost forgot the year. That's sad. Anyway, um, decided last night that I was going to run Norwich Chief with the 1976 F1 cars since that's the last year that I could find that they ran that track in F1. That was the year Nicky Lauder was seriously injured and survived. Burned. Everybody knows the story. Who follows racing? Um, that was the last year that I can find. After that, they went to Hockenheim. So for a while. So that's going to be interesting to do. Don't know which car I'm going to use. I'm not going to use Nicky's. That's out of respect. I'm not going to use James Hunt either, as that's too predictable. So one of the other teams' cars will be used. Don't know who. Probably test a couple of them out before I go and do it. It's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting because those cars are fast. A lot faster than the car I used the last time I did a challenge there. Okay, that's that. That's my own personal little challenge. Um, no grip, nothing. It's dead. Just bury it. Put a fork in it. No need to mention it anymore. It's gone. It's been at least 2.5 to 3 weeks. So, that's done. Um, Not a lot of new hot laps over at Stanad, so there's still 200, 199, 200 of them. Maybe 202 over there to do. I've done most of them, of course. I pat myself in the back every time. Talk about that. Um, really, just it's another Friday. Thank God, too. Getting closer and closer to things working out again. No sun shining, so there's no rain. Thought we were going somewhere. What was it? Wednesday. So I left the windows down so the car wasn't so motorishly hot. And then, of course, yesterday when I go out to the car, I realized that the windows were still down through all that rain, and inside the car was completely wet. Not There's no puddles or nothing, but everything's wet. So there you go. Remember, you roll down your windows when it rains. You're going to wind up with a wet interior. Soap sopping wet interior. Eh. I haven't done that in years. I haven't done anything like that in years. Left the windows down. Usually I just leave them up and let it swelter in there for a few minutes before the air kicks in. But the air needs to be recharged, so I haven't gotten around to getting that done, so it takes a little bit longer. It's hot in that car. It's a little car. Anyway, there's something else. Learn how to use a form. Some people really need to learn how to use a form. I don't know. That's another thing that bugs me. It's simple. If you want to ask for something, ask in a post thread. Not if the site has a shout box, don't post in the shout box. If it has a profile post, not the profile post. A lot of people don't see that anyway. Just make a thread. Simple, easy, not that hard. And if you don't know how to do it, ask. If you don't know how to ask, like I said, don't even bother. Because if you can't ask a simple question, the only dumb question is an unasked question. How's that app? How's that? How's them apples? That's what was in my head, and that's not what came out of my mouth. Again. Yeah. Oh, the mind of a demented person. Yeah. Anyway, oh, wow, it's only 4 minutes 30 seconds in, and the last couple have been like 12 minutes. Let's see. 12, 11, 12, 12, 12, and I'm sitting here at 4 minutes trying to figure out what the hell to talk about. um, did some stuff with a set of Corsa too. Not a lot. Downloaded one of those radars. Those are kind of cool. if you actually see the little arrow on the screen to where the car is. Because I don't even pay attention to anything but basically the road surface. And if you've seen some of my videos for that, instead of Corsa, I have all that telemetry and stuff on the screen. I don't even see it. Every once in a while, I'll glance at the the gear thing, and then depending on what track I am, I'll take a side glance at the track map just to see what's coming up, because I don't have all these tracks memorized. And I bounce around from track to track to track, so it makes it even harder to memorize tracks when you're not on the same one continuously. That's kind of why I do my other one, this to help the concentration value. The right roller? I don't know. Help me concentrate on what's coming up. And the North Chief I'm choosing to use is the 75 version, and the track Mac and R factor on that is the extremely wrong track. So I can't even rely on that for what's coming up next. So that's going to help me learn a lot faster. Doing that, I'll probably do a couple of runs this weekend on that, see how that goes. Pick a car, run a couple laps. One of the cooler looking cars that are 76 was the high airbox. So those were cool looking cars, all of them were. Some of them still had that early 70s sports car nose too, so it's going to be cool. Um, so, excuse me, burping up last night's dinner, I guess. Anyway, really, there's not a lot going on. Seriously, it's Friday, 24-hour Le Mans this weekend, and I looked up the who was covering it in the United States. It looks like Velocity is covering the whole thing. I'm 90% sure I do not have Velocity, because we kind of watch the same channels over and over and over again. We don't really go looking around for anything else. So there's a good chance I don't have Velocity. I'll have to look on my providers, even though, long story short, I don't pay for cable. I get it for free through the trailer court, but we can't nag the cable company about service, because it's some small town weird stuff. If you ever lived in a small town and weird stuff went on, this is one of those weird things where they'd have to rewire the whole system to turn us off, basically. And the cable company is a small one. It's not a big one. It's a little small company. They only you do 2 or 3 small towns in this area, and for them to come out here and to basically cut off the service to the trailer court where I live, they'd have to rewire half the system, and it's too costly for them. So they just deal with the fact that the 15 trailers here, if you can figure out how to get it, you get it for free. So so that's that. We get it. So we can't bug them. So we just have to go on the internet and look at the schedule lineup and see, or the channel lineup to see which channel is they carry. And since it's not, we don't have their decoder, you have to buy your own decoder. That's the thing. Or if you have a digital TV, you use, but the channels listings, the numbers aren't the same as they are for the cable company. So you just have to look to see if they have it, and then run through the channels to find it. Which is that's why we watch the same channels kind of over and over and over again, because we know where they're at. So that's how the Tigg gets TV. I pay for internet, of course, because that's satellite. That's why sometimes when, yesterday when I was telling you all that the internet was down, that's because it's satellite. It'd be like $150 a month to get what I have through the local company, as opposed to the like $75 a month I pay through the satellite. So I deal with the outages. I need to have them come out and realign the dish. That's probably half the problem why it goes out in the heavy weather. The satellite sits in the ground, and I'm sure it's settled and needs to be repositioned. That's probably why it keeps going out like it does, because it's not getting the full signal. Yesterday was on and off, on and off, on and off until well, when I got on about half an hour after I did this vlog, all night long. So there you go. Hey, there's my 10 minutes. You learn more about the Tigg's life. Boring as it is. That's it. I'm not that exciting. I'm pretty much like everybody else. I love sim racing. I talk about it a lot. Even though I didn't talk, well, I did. I talked about it for a few minutes today. I really like to get back into online racing, but with a satellite you really can't because it's just like dial up and upload and download speeds. Well, upload speeds. At least mine is. And it might be because the dish needs to be repositioned. Um, I miss it. I used to do it all the time. HoboRacing.net, I think it is, was the last place I raced 5 years ago. It's already been 5 years. It's hard to believe that, but it's been 5 years since the last time I raced online. Time flies. So that's that, and you know, have fun. If you can race online, race online. Just don't act like an idiot. It's real people. It's not AI, so you just can't wreck them to get them out of your way. Anyway, smoke me a kipper. I'll be back for breakfast.